And we are back. Hard things are hard. That is why they're hard. Another session of speed running our way through lessons and reflections. 2025 has been a relatively painful year. And in hindsight, it's been beneficial because all of the pain has allowed me to create mental frameworks that has helped me bear with the pain in the current moment and will assist me in the unforeseeable future. And I also believe that it will help you guys. A lot has happened. I want to give you a quick breakdown. And then I even wrote a bunch of notes that I can read to you guys. Ideas, lessons I learned, and I'll give some context. So my mom died this year. We'll talk about that later. My mom died this year. For anyone that follows my story or my journey, most of you understand that last year I was, I guess you can consider it employed. I think by now I don't think I was doing business with this person, but I was employed by this person. I just took on more responsibility than a typical employee. All right, so I was kind of like employed, doing business, kind of like a joint venture, not really on paper. It was just a mess. I parted ways with no money. And I went and got a job. The company became successful, broke me off a piece. So I had about 50,000 to my name. So I quit the job, tried to go all in on what I wanted to do, failed. This year I had to pick up 2 jobs. I had to pick up a job at a college, kind of like nearby my freaking house. I had to pick up a Planet Fitness job, so a nighttime shift. In the morning, from 9 to 5, I am at this nursing college where I'm just doing fucking administrative work. Literally just computer and just typing. After that, I would have maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Then I go into my second shift, which is from 10 to 6. That was my Planet Fitness job where I would clean the gym, all that good stuff. Janitorial, basically. I couldn't find any other overnight shifts. So yeah, 2 jobs for a season. It was unbearable. It took a toll on my health. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm a lot skinnier because this year has literally beat the fucking shit out of me, to keep it blunt. And I've also lost a lot of muscle. I've lost a lot of weight. I was in a really, really disgusting state of mind. And my physical body literally matched it. All that to say, here I am, still alive, learned a lot, grew a lot, and still actively going towards where I want to go. Here's everything I learned in 2025. First one, when you have nothing going for you, that also means you have nothing to lose. I think a lot of people associate this with the opposite, which is, what if I lose? What if I start something and I fail? I don't want to fail. But they don't look at the upside versus downside. Like, the upside is unlimited, is not capped. If you do something you want, and I'm gonna speak purely from like a material wealth, success, entrepreneurship point of view. If you want to go and start a venture and do something, and you are afraid, you need to understand upside is capped. It's uncapped. I'm sorry. It's not capped. You can make millions. Like, you can do so much. And if you have nothing going for you, the downside is staying the same. Being in the same spot, the same conditions, same circumstances. Like, that's almost like free lottery tickets. Oh my gosh, but what if I don't win? Dude, the lottery ticket is free. And all you have to do is cash them in. And that has been really insightful to me because when I was failing, I'm like, dude, I'm such a loser. Like, I suck at everything. It really hurt me. It hurt me because I am a man and I have a lot of pride. So I'm haunted and taunted by these voices of family members and friends and people I grew up with and went to high school with that did not respect me or took me as a joke. And the fact that I failed, it destroyed me because I'm like, dude, they're right. But the one thing that I love is they are right for now, but the moment I win, they're wrong for the rest of their entire existence and eternity until they turn into dust and fade into the inevitable darkness of the multiverse. And that gives me some type of peace. I failed. It was bad. It was really tough on me. But it's something that has helped me. You have nothing to lose if you are at the bottom, which is why you should take all the risks you can. Because if the risk is 10x what you have now, I'd say do it. Because the absolute worst case is that you literally stay the same. You cannot get any worse. You are at the bottom. You have no money. You eat noodles and beans. You lost weight. You don't eat out. You don't go out. You don't buy clothes. Like, you're already at rock bottom. You're already miserable. Take the shot. And it just so happens that potentially luck is real. And what you'll notice is if you take the shot, you might just hit, and might hit big, and it might not. And I'm not just talking about a hit. It might be a home run. So you have uncapped upside, literally capped downside. That is a great return. So that has helped me. Next one. You can brute force your way past obstacles, but only for a season. I spoke about how this year, when I had no money, I had to pick up jobs. I spent an entire day from sun up to sundown, I think an entire weekend on Indeed, just applying, mass applying. Like, I didn't care. I didn't care if I was like, we're gonna work in a nursing facility. I didn't care if I was gonna be a janitorial and scrub toilets. Did it already. I didn't care if I was gonna stock warehouse shelves. I did not give a damn if I was gonna flip burgers. I just said, boom, boom, boom. I applied to everywhere, anything. I was like, dude, I just gotta get money. And I've noticed that in that part of my life, I was able to just brute force my way past those obstacles. But only for a season, because my health did deteriorate. I kind of want to break down this window because I tried my best and it was extremely difficult. From 9 to 5, I'm working. Call it 8 to 5, I'm sorry. From 8 to 5, I'm working. From 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's the only window I have to sleep. From 10. It was 10 p.m. So get off at 5. From 5 to 10, I get to sleep. From 10 to 6:30, I believe. From 10 to 6:30, that was my second shift. And so 6:30 to 9 is my second break. And when you add it up, you're looking at a total of maybe 6.5, 7 hours. Which people would think like, oh, that's great. You get a lot done. You could sleep, you could work out. It was really tough, man. Like, Red Bulls and energy drinks was my fuel. I barely ate. I was like energy drink back to energy drink because like I was just exhausted. I was exhausted. The gym was about 22 minutes from my house. I would get off that night shift and I would zoom on the freeway home. And the moment I got home, brushing my teeth, screw everything. And I would just try to get as much shut as I can because literally in 2 hours, I am up at I'm back at my other job. And it was difficult. I know some people work 2 jobs and they do it easily, but for me, it took a toll on my health. I couldn't find time to train. Even if I did find time to train, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking exhausted. Like, my body cannot keep up. I am putting myself through a lot. But I noticed that if you have a season of hardship, what you can do is that. You'll die if you do that every single day for like 5 years. You'll fucking die sooner than most. But if you are just at rock bottom and you need to brute force your way past these impossible obstacles, you can literally Red Bulls and go. And if you're crazy, most people fucking take Adderall. I didn't. It was a lot of Red Bulls and I just went. And a lot of pain. And you saw it in my eyes. I was freaking exhausted. Oh my God. Next one. We sacrifice what we want for the thing that's supposed to get it. Once you get it, you don't want it. And if you don't have it, it's all you want. I love this. And I'm going to speak in terms of happiness. We sacrifice happiness and comfort to achieve, say, material wealth and success. Only to get the material wealth and success and want back the happiness and comfort that we once sacrificed for it. And now it seems as though we don't even care about the material wealth and success because we have it. But now we want the thing that's not present, which is the happiness, the peace, the comfort that we chose to give up in order to obtain it. And that's the paradox. And I've had such a difficult time wrestling with that because I am hell-bent on just getting a lot of money. And yeah, you could, to all my philosophical, religious, spiritual people, you can call me shallow. We'll talk about that later. But honestly, all I care about is money. For right now. Because I think money just allows you to do more things. Money helps you feel less miserable. And I think more of it is fine as long as you don't lose your soul in the process. But all I want is to get money, hit a certain dollar amount. And from there, I will expand my horizons and perhaps focus on other things that I can use the money to help me do. But I've had such a hard time with that because this year I sacrificed everything. In order to get towards my goals, I said, if it does not directly affect me getting closer towards my goals, I don't want it. And my only goal was like that dollar amount. So I sacrificed my health. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't do anything. I locked myself in this garage right here, day in and day out. I would look at the screen. I would put in my screen time. I would do my work, and that's it. For those of you that do not know what I do to make money, I trade the markets. So I trade equities. I trade options. That's what I do. Had a failing year. Get back, do it again. I've been able to come to this conclusion that whatever you're willing to sacrifice for your goals, you don't have to. Because when you get to your goals, you're just going to want it back. I chose to sacrifice my health to just immerse myself in what I was doing, only to get good at what I was doing and want back my health. And so in hindsight, it's like, why do I have to do that trade-off? Why? If I'm just going to want it back, maybe I can just trade something else off that I know for a fact I won't want back. Or perhaps I'll just keep my health. I'll stay in shape and I will just continue to work towards my goals. You can do both. And that's the paradox of wants. And I honestly have yet to find a solution to it. Next one. Your personality is what you do, say, think, or act like when no one is watching. That's who you really are, and that is who you are authentically. And I love this because the reason I kind of stopped making content is because I felt that I needed to start living up in private what I was telling you guys to do in public. And my entire life, we'll go more into this later, but my entire life has been current me and better me in my mind, playing ping pong with each other. And better me is always calling me out on my bullshit. And so whenever I'm in private and I'm not on camera and I'm not being watched by crowds, I'm not around friends, and I don't go as hard, I don't work as hard, I don't give enough effort, like I just say I'm full of shit. And it really, really bothers me because it's like, holy crap, like I don't want to be full of shit. Like I want to say what I want to say arrogantly, confidently, self-centeredly, narcissistically, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like I want to say what I want with confirmation and like firmness. And it's because I live it. So when I don't live it, it really bothers me because I just don't want to be a fraud. And I think most people say, do, act in a manner that's different when they're around friends as opposed to when they're all alone. Like who you are, what you do when you're all alone is who you really are. And that's the best way to audit your life. Like pay attention to what you do when you're alone. That'll give you a glimpse into who you actually are, what you actually value. Next one. People are so scared to speak their minds. They are so afraid of judgment from people who have lives that they just don't want. And I love this, and it's one of like the central themes of my entire 20s so far, which is I was never scared to speak my mind because I just didn't give a fuck. I'm like, you can be afraid to speak your mind, you fucking pussy, but I will not. I will not be a helpless bitch like you. I'm sorry. I will speak my mind. I will do it confidently. I will collect data to back up my claims. And I will live it. And I think in this world, so many people are scared to speak their fucking minds out of fear of what their pathetic little high school friends will have to say about them. Like, who cares? Look at their life. Like, do you want their life? The person that has shit to say about you, do you want their life? If the answer is no, you should not be fucking afraid of their judgment. Like, you should not. For what? You are afraid of the judgment of somebody that you would never want to be like? What type of helpless, pathetic bitch shit is that? And I am saying, I'm using very tough words because it's true. It's so true. We're so afraid. Oh my God. And you'll realize that most people don't even give a fuck to begin with. They have bills to pay and personal issues. Like, they don't have time to audit your life and call you out on your shit. The only people that do that are the fucking cyber bullies. The digital cyber keyboard ninja warrior bullies who are addicted to their phones. And all they do is put their 2 cents and input on every video they come across that they disagree with. And yet, I can guarantee you every fucking cyber digital ninja warrior bully is miserable with their life. Because no one doing impressive shit, no one doing big shit, no one that is out for a better quality of life has time to do that. So you are afraid of the judgment of people under you. Think about that. And when I realized that, it just slapped me across the face and I said, well, fuck them. Next one. Bad things snowball. Doesn't happen all at once. It happens one at a time. I love this. And it applies for good things too. So and I learned this from Hormozy. This isn't me. But let's say something bad happens. You lose money. You have no money. It's just one bad thing, like you don't have money. We allow one bad thing to spiral into 5 bad things. You have no money. Now you're depressed. Now you give up. Now you're drinking. Now you're smoking. Now your relationship suffers. Now you don't want to train anymore. Now you're unhealthy. Now you're eating like junk. Now you're gaining weight. And you're still drinking, you're still smoking, you're gaining weight. So now your mental is just destroyed. And see, it all stemmed from just not having money. And this is an example, but it's really important because not everything bad has to turn into like 20 different bad things. Like, you can cut it right there. You can nip it in the bud right there. If something bad happens, first of all, that's entirely subjective, right? I don't think there's objectively good or bad, because what's bad to you might be a blessing to somebody else, etc. But when one bad thing happens, I'll put quotes on that, you can nip it in the bud and you can say, okay, that's fine. And prevent it from just snowballing into other bad things. And good things happen in the same way. Good things kind of happen in the reverse. I would say apply this method for good things in reverse. So one good thing happens, that can snowball into a lot of good things happen. So I'd say be more optimistic when it comes to good things. One good thing happens, assume that there will be more good things that will come. And of course, you're rolling the dice, you're gambling a little bit, because if you assume good things are going to come and they don't come, now you're disappointed, right? And that's assumption. And I have a lot to say about assumption. But bad things don't happen by 10s or 20s or 5s, they happen one at a time. And you refuse to nip it in the bud right there and solve it or assess it or do something about it. And that's why it turns into like 50, 100 other bad things. Okay. Next one. No one gets to tell you what's important. I fucking love this. Because in your life, you're going to deal with a lot of people. First of all, you're going to deal with these religious hypocrites that don't even know why they believe what they believe. You're going to deal with your father and your mother and their judgment. You're going to deal with family members who assume that they know what's best for your life. And you're going to deal with people who will tear down what you value simply because they don't value it. Or perhaps they do value it and they just refuse to speak about it like you do. And I've had to go through all of this. I've had to go through family members shit talking my beliefs. I had to go through friends in high school shit talking my beliefs. I had to go through random people on the internet shit talking my belief and what's important to me. I had to go through close friends and family members and my mother and my father shit talking my beliefs, and my brother shit talking my beliefs. And I realized that none of them get to say what's important to me. Fuck them. What's important to me is what's important to me. And if they live the life that I live, maybe it would be important to them too. And the fact that they find other things important is great, and they need to just stay the fuck over there. And I will stay the fuck over here. I will not bother them and tear down their beliefs, and they should definitely not bother me, tear down my beliefs. So no one gets to tell you what's important. If you only care about money, that's fine. If you only care about love and this, and you don't care about money, that's fine. I have a counter for you though. Are you ready? If you don't care about money and you care about being a good person and blah blah blah, and you think money is superficial and materialistic, and you're such a transcendent, spiritual, ninth dimensional being that has entered the abyss and the labyrinth of intelligence, and you are so much better than money, quit your job, give every dime in your savings account away to a random person, sell everything you own, and move to the ancient mountains of Tibet where you can truly be one with the natural source. And if you're not willing to do that, then maybe you do care about money. So don't try to fucking belittle someone that cares more about it than you do. Perhaps they just have bigger goals, ambitions. They want to do bigger things, and they need to obtain a resource such as money in order to carry out that mission. Just some insight. And the same works for the reverse. So for anyone here that only values money, what happens when you get a bunch of it? You're gonna be on the search for the next thing that's gonna give you meaning. Just think of it as a resource for you to do really big shit. Because like if you are a multi-billionaire and you don't do anything with your life, that's an unfulfilled life. Because there is a lot of potential in the human race. Dude, Elon is literally trying to build a rocket ship to enter a different planet and blast out of the fucking Earth's stratosphere. Like, we can do big things. And I think with the life that we have, it's in our best interest to just be able to physically see what is possible. Because it's just like, wow, you are blown away by yourself, your own magnitude. I'm blown away by other humans. We are a resilient species, and I love it. I'm like, wow, that's possible. So what's important to you is important to you. Stand by it. No one gets to tell you if, ands, or buts. And if they don't agree, then they don't agree. Next one. Loneliness is the price you pay to become exceptional. No one wants to make that trade. It's a barter system, which is why people want friends and they surround themselves with people, and they're exceptional at nothing. And they're pretty much average at everything. When you decide to become exceptional at something, it requires a trade, aka the barter system, which is like, hey, I want this, I'll give this for that. But I need you to understand that you are bartering with this invisible force called the fucking universe, the cosmos, God, whatever you want to call it, us. You are dealing with an invisible force, and you are saying, hey, I really, really want to become exceptional at what I do. And it says, fine, the price is you must be lonely, because the only way you're going to learn is in solitude and isolation. You're not going to learn at your freaking cousin's bar mitzvah or your friend's wedding where everyone's taking shots of Don Julio and looking retarded. Like, you're not going to become exceptional there. Do you want to become exceptional? This is the price. And you just have to say, sure, I'll take it. Because on the path to becoming exceptional at anything you want to do, anything you put your mind towards, anything that you dared to achieve, anything that you want to do and become exceptional at, you are going to have to be alone. Because in this state of loneliness, do you discover the depths of who you are? Like, Carl Jung has a quote that goes, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." And for those of you that don't really know what that means, is you can't become the best version of you without meeting the absolute worst version of you. Only in discovering the absolute worst version of you, the demonic, the one in hell, the fucking shadow, Jung calls it the shadow, the underdeveloped self, the darkness, whatever. Only when you meet that person can you actually become better. You have to be exposed to that side first, and then you make a choice to become better and not stay with that version of you. It's kind of like, you guys know Toy Story, right? Everyone loves Toy Story. In the final movie, I forget his name, was it Andy, the kid? He says, time to say goodbye to the toys. Sometimes it's time to move on. It's time to grow. And to grow means you have to relinquish control and your grip of the things that you were holding on to. So near and dear. Because if you don't, then the thing that you keep gripping on is literally the thing that holds you back and prevents you from growing. Sometimes you must relinquish control. Next one. Anything can be learned. Nothing comes natural. Things are taught, repeated, practiced, and then mastered. And I really want to hammer down on this because I was having a conversation with my cousin. Mind you guys, I don't give a fuck about my family. When I think of family, I consider my mother, and I am in a relationship, so my woman. I don't consider anyone else family. I have a half brother, so my father had two wives. He's gone now. I think in the beginning of the video, I said my mother died. I don't know if I said my mother or my father, but it was my father who passed. And I'll speak more about that in a second. But me and my cousin, there's one cousin, her name's Jocelyn. Well, I just put her information out there. But she's the only cousin that I care to kind of have conversations with. And even talking to her is a little bit of a chore to me. Mainly because me and her disagree on a lot of things. Except I have evidence to back up my claims and she doesn't have evidence to back up her claims. And we talked about something, which is things don't just come natural. And I was almost disgusted by what she said. She was like, Thompson, your personality is you're business savvy. You're this, you're a boss. I'm like, no, I'm not. Did you see me at 18? You want to know what my personality is? A lot of weed, a lot of alcohol, and nothing going for them, and cigarettes. Like, I am not business savvy. I am not a boss. I don't have the boss mentality. This shit was trained, learned, repeated, studied, executed, mastered. Because I had a desire. And then I made a choice. And then she kept saying, well, your desire is based on who you are. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? I grew up in an environment where everyone was pushing me to go to school. And they hate their lives. My personality, my desire. Are you stupid? I was so disgusted by that because she says things come natural to certain people. You can't teach street smarts. I'm like, give me a white boy who grew up in a preppy little home with multi-millionaire parents and goes to church and has never said a single cuss word in his life, and has never had sex or seen a pistol or did drugs. Give me to him. Put him in a controlled environment. Surround him by freaking thugs that went to prison, that spent time in the pen. Influence him with drugs. Teach him how to analyze people's behaviors. Read people. And I guarantee you he'll develop street smarts. Like anything can be learned. Like, it was so stupid. And I've come to the realization that people that are skeptical and don't believe things, right? It's because they're average at everything. They're exceptional at nothing. So of course they don't believe shit can just be learned so easily. Look at them. They're moving through life at a very mediocre, average pace with no sense of urgency. So it's like no dreams, nothing. Of course, they'll be skeptical. And I was just bothered because I have evidence to the contrary. It is not opinion. It is not like I truly have data and evidence that things, skills, traits, and behaviors can be trained. Look at mass psyop. Look how we all behave. That is psychological programming from people that are doing, that people that we don't even know their names or their faces, controlling us. And we behave accordingly. And you think you can't pull someone from a 9-to-5 job and teach them how to manage a business? Like, are you stupid? Like, if I take a 9-to-5 person who knows nothing about business and I say, keep this business alive, make it succeed, they're like, what the fuck? But if you can break things down and regress them into like rudimentary, actionable steps, they can carry that out, and the outcome will be will literally turn them into a good business manager. So here's a great example. Hey, I need you to manage this business, Mr. John, who works at McDonald's. I don't know anything about business. That's fine. To manage a business, all you gotta do is keep the employees happy. Like our employees, keep them happy. Do whatever you can, keep them happy. Right? Like always come in with a smile, cheer up, like keep them happy because they run the operations, and if they leave, we're screwed. So I need you to keep them wanting to stay here. Make them happy, be a good time. Next, I need you to somehow make sure that we grow quarter over quarter in net profits. I don't give a fuck about the gross. I like net profits. And then if you can source a product that has over 90% margins or 80% margins, that's even better. Well, then how do I do that? And then you break it down into more actionable steps. Well, go on the internet. We'll do this. We'll go on Alibaba. We'll look for this. Do your research. Go on Amazon. What's the top seller? What's the top seller? Actionable steps allow you to take action. And in taking action, do you get the outcome? Like, I don't care if someone's more natural in business. If I take a McDonald's worker and I tell them to manage a business and I give them step by step on how to do it, and then you take a business savvy person and tell them to manage the business and their outcome is the same, what truly fucking matters? Because really, the outcome is all that fucking matters. Doesn't matter who's more natural. Yes, the business savvy guy might be more savvy with numbers and analytics, and they might know how to sell better, and they might know how to make videos and market better. Sure, they might know how to close leads better, of course. But if the outcome is the same, then what? And so this one, I really want to hammer on it. It's just ridiculous to think that you can't learn everything. Like, are you stupid? And learning is not a single thing. I split it into two categories. So you have the acquisition of information and you have the application of information. So if you're only learning, not doing, like, you are partially learning. Like, you are halfway there. I wouldn't even call that true learning. You are simply acquiring information. But if you can then apply the information that's been acquired, now you have fully learned. That is a fully developed learning system where you acquire, apply. If you just acquire and you don't apply, you're not learning. So that's a big one. That's a really big one. Next, you can't spend too much time thinking about what could have been done. It's over, move on. I really had to sit this one through when I was thinking about just the things that have happened the past 2 years and what I could have done different and what ifs. And honestly, the what ifs do nothing for you except keep you in this cycle of, damn, I should have, but I couldn't have, or I didn't. What it does is it creates this baggage that you carry every day. And it's so annoying because this baggage pulls away at your mental capacity. So if your mental capacity every day when you wake up is 100, this thing is like a seeking, it's like a sucking, what are those things called? Leech. It's a leech that just sucks away at mental space until you're depleted. And it's because you keep thinking, what could have happened? What could have happened? I could have done this better. You didn't do it. That's fine. Do it next time and let's go. That one's short. Next one. Listen to the people who dream bigger than you. Because otherwise, if you listen to the opinions of people who don't dream as big, those opinions will simply pull you down. I wholeheartedly believe this because I've had conversations with people who have lives that I don't want, and they don't dream too big. They're content in their job. They don't really want to do anything big or ambitious. And it's not that they lack ambition. It's just like they don't know any better. Sometimes it's ignorance. Sometimes it's skepticism. I don't know. But I've met a lot of people who have lives I don't want, who don't dream big. And anytime they give me their input or their 2 cents about my life, it's only ever pulled me down. And I've only ever rolled my eyes and wanted to slap them in the face. Like, very simple. People that dream bigger than you, the reason their input is so big is because they imagine bigger than you. So if you can do more, they'll be like, well, why can't you do more? And that will actually inspire you if you're someone that doesn't get soft and hurt, that someone is like encouraging you and stabbing you in the front, not in the back. People who dream more, who dream big, who have bigger aspirations for your life than you do sometimes, who want you to become the best version of yourself, who will stab you in the front, not in the back, who will speak highly about you to your back and talk shit to your face. These are the type of people that you listen to, that you stick around, that you hold near and dear, because everyone else will just be a leech, and that's all they'll ever be. Next one. We work hard to get to the top of whatever mountain that we are trying to climb. And in doing so, we also imagine and we hope for this amazing life. Then you realize that the top is actually more lonely than the bottom. At the bottom, you have a lot of people around you because everyone's at the bottom. At the top, the reason it's so lonely and it's not so profound, and it's not so wow, is because there's so little people you can actually conversate with, because people just don't get it. One of the most loneliest things in my life is not having people around, but having people around that just don't get it, because they're at the bottom. And I'm not saying this in a kind of self-aggrandizing type of way. I'm trying to climb a mountain, not because I'm better than you or I'm more ambitious. I want my life to stand for something, and that something is what I can do, my potential. And you don't really get it. And so conversating with you is just, it's terrible. That's why I don't speak to anybody. I don't speak to friends. I don't have friends. And I don't enjoy speaking to family. It's a chore to speak to the only cousin I speak to. And it's a double chore to even engage in conversations with my brother and his wife, because I've done it already, and they just don't get it. And they probably never will, and that's okay. And they can stay there, I'll stay here. And the only time it gets a little bit more fun is when you meet other people that are like, huh, you too? And they get it. Now you make new friends at the top, right? The ones that actually do get it, the ones that are on the same page, the ones that are like, yeah, hey, I agree. And that's your crew. But I say this because we always try so hard. We climb to the top because we're like, yes, at the top, I'm gonna have this type of life. I'm gonna have this many friends. I'm gonna meet so many people. I'm gonna do so well. Once you get there, you realize just how lonely it is, because people are freaking knuckleheads and they're stupid. Next. What are you so afraid of losing when nothing belongs to you? I believe this was a quote by Marcus Aurelius, and I also like to invert it, and I say, what are you so obsessed with gaining when nothing belongs to you? I love it. 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 We don't want to take risks because we're afraid of losing money, only to realize that when we die, all the money gets pushed to the middle of the table and we don't take it with us. And it gets redistributed to businesses and companies, and that money just ends up in the cycle that flows. And then conversely, we're so obsessed with gaining things, like, oh my gosh, I want that car, oh my gosh, I want this, I want that. Only to realize that similarly, when we die, we're not going to take it with us. It doesn't belong to us. And this framework has helped me cope with a lot of things. So I kind of sit and I ponder and I ruminate on death a lot. It's like my central theme. Because I know it's inevitable, it's quite painful. And I like to reduce the pain and make it to where my rebound effect is like fucking V-shaped. Like someone that I love dies, boom, holy crap, depths of despair. Next day, I'm working. And that's what happened this year. I'll talk about my father dying this year, and I'll give you guys my insights on this soon. But I just love this. Like, there's nothing that you can possibly lose because nothing belongs to you. You're here borrowing everything until you die, and then you have to give it all back. And I think the world would work in a much different way if the rules were, when you die, you literally have to give away everything that you own. Not to people you love, but to random people. Like, imagine how different the game will be played. And I got that insight from Hormozy. It wasn't me. This isn't me. And I just love that. I love this frame because it helps me not get too attached to losing things. And it also helps me not get attached to gaining things. Like, I just don't care. I don't. Some people want to get the fucking nice cars when they get rich, and like, that's fine. I don't care. I want to be exceptional. And if you want the materialistic things, I'm not going to call you materialistic. Like, that's cool. I actually have an argument about this. Where nowadays you guys see a lot of like young kids, they make a lot of money online, right? They'll start like e-commerce businesses, they'll drop ship, maybe they hit with like crypto, who knows? And they're out here buying Lamborghinis. And I remember reading this on Twitter. Someone like really bashed on this like 19, 21-year-old kid that bought a Lamborghini with his own money that he made at 19 or 20, I forget. And I also read someone backing him saying, dude, the memories and the emotions that you got buying that Lamborghini at 19 and the pride you feel and just the eagerness and the excitedness and the celebration, those memories are literally priceless. Like, yes, buy the Lamborghini, because the dividends you get from the memory will far exceed you just taking that money and putting into the S&P 500 or buying T-bills or T-bonds. And when I read that, I was like, that's a really good frame, because I actually was sided with the person that was like, dude, why'd you spend your money? Are you stupid? Like, for what? Are you so shallow? Like, do you care that much about an emblem? Like, do you not have any other sense of self besides your stupid car and what you wear and your designer cologne? Like, is there anything else you stand for? Like, I was on that side until I read that, and I read it and I said, that's pretty good. And I changed my mind, man. I changed my mind. Personally, my philosophy and the way I live, when the wealth comes, I want to restrict the amount of wants and purchases. That's just me. And I'll talk about this soon. But I think the key to end all suffering is to absolutely decrease your wants, or at least try to get it to as close to zero as you can. And in doing so, you will eliminate all suffering. And so when I have the wealth and it comes, I don't necessarily want to suffer. And so I want to decrease my wants. And if I do make big purchases, it will strictly be for tax purposes. Next one. I love when people say you are such a natural, because then I see how they think, and it eliminates a competitor. I tend to just shrug and agree and say, yeah, because then it makes them perceive that in order to get to where I'm at, it's truly impossible. So when people are like, you're such a natural, or you do it so naturally, like you were born with this, you were gifted, I realize how they think at that exact moment, that they think you're born with shit. There is a concept called tabula rasa, which is every human is born with a clean slate. You're not gifted with skills, wants, or desires. It is clean. And it gets influenced as you age. But when people say that, I don't disagree. Because here's what happens. If you disagree, you're like, nah, man, you have no idea how hard I worked. It's not like they're going to believe you anyways. Like, they're skeptics. They're average at everything in their life and exceptional at absolute dog shit nothing. And their life is just not exactly the best. So why would you argue? Like, why would you say, no, you have no idea the amount of hours I put in and blah, blah, blah. Like, they're not going to believe you. Just say, yeah, I am. Yeah, I have incredible genetics. I was incredibly blessed. And yeah, I honestly got lucky and I'm naturally gifted. Yeah. It happened super easy. Because when you do that, it almost like it defeats them in their head. It's like, damn, I'm right. Fuck, so I really can't be like him. It's impossible. And if anything, it's like, okay, one less competitor. Good. Go away. That's how I see it. I don't think you're natural at anything. If any of you think that I am a natural at speaking, I really, really wished I had a video of me at 16, 17, 18 years old. You tell me what's so natural about that. No, nothing's fucking natural. I wasn't gifted with this shit. I talked a lot to myself. I read, memorized words, found the definition of words, found a way to coherently combine words to create a sentence that sounds pretty fucking cool in order to articulate the thoughts and ideas I have in my head that I have a very difficult time explaining. And in doing so, and doing it repetitively for a long enough time, speaking just, I don't have to think. Like, it takes no effort for me to speak. Is it natural? No, you fucking dumbass. It's not natural. I just did it enough times to where like I don't have to apply a lot of effort. And that's it. It's a scale of, you measure it based on effort. It's like, how much effort do I have to put in? If I'm putting in a lot of effort, holy crap, maybe this is a little challenging for me. If I don't have to put in a lot of effort, maybe this isn't so challenging for me, right? And it's probably because I've done it before, right? So I love that one. Next. You'll start over, meet new people, fail a few times, and get knocked down a couple hundred times. Have no one around when you need most. You'll get judged. And yet, you will be just fine in 1 to 2 years. Keep going. I don't say that because I heard it. I've lived it. With my own 2 eyes. I've started over. And I thought it was the end of the world. I got 2 jobs and I made money. I lost friends and I thought it was the end of the world. Best friends. Close people. Not friends in high school that I don't give a fuck about. I'm talking about like really close people because I'm very selective with who I allow in my life. And so I lost those 2 people, the ones that like made up my entire life. Like my entire life is made up of maybe like 3 people right now. I'd say 2. My circle is small and I choose to keep it small. I don't care to speak to friends. I don't want to talk to you. If I went to high school with you, like I don't care. Unless like you impress me or like I genuinely enjoy speaking to you. Like if I do not, like get the fuck away. I had no one around when I really needed it. Like when I really needed a hug or I really needed like a pat on the back and I really needed like, dude, you are going to win so big. And this is just part of the journey. Like when I needed those words, no one gave them to me. And I thought it was the end of the world. You'll cry yourself to sleep. You'll be all alone. I was in here in this dark garage all alone, just crying a lot of times. And I thought it was the end of the world. And yet, as I allow time to do what she naturally does, which is move forward and rip away any pain that you have with her as she moves forward, I've come to realize that you will literally be just fine in 1 or 2 years, maybe even sooner. And you just have to not stop. I really want to put this in a context, and I don't really like being stuck on the past, but I will speak about the business that I was in. I gave up first. I couldn't take it. I felt like I was fucking carrying like a lot. And I wasn't, 1, being compensated for what I was carrying, and 2, it wasn't my job. I gave up first. And literally, maybe 2 weeks later, the company does, what is it, almost $500,000 in sales. I don't think it was net. They probably took home maybe like 300 net. And then fast forward a few months, dude, they're doing like over, I'm assuming like over 3 to 5 million. net, not gross, because the margins on that product was insane. But I gave up first. And that was like one of those moments where I'm like, that's amazing. Like, had I just stuck it through a little bit longer, who knows what would have happened, right? But that's the whole, like, don't get too caught up in the what ifs. And but it was just really insightful because, like, I had no one else to blame but myself. And I love moments like that. Like, I love moments where this blame finger can't go anywhere else. It can't go towards this person that did you wrong, this person that did you wrong, this person that said something about you, this person that said something about you, your mom, your dad, your sister, your cousin. Like, when this blame finger goes straight to you, it hurts because it's like, fuck, I'm such a loser. But it's also like, it gives you a sense of power because it's like, I will never allow this to happen again. It is in my control now. If you are going through a series of difficult moments, you have to understand that it just gets better. We talk about ebb and flow and we talk about business cycles and we understand that nothing goes up forever, nothing goes down forever, but not a lot of people process that. Like in the down moments, like they're so torn up and in despair. But you have to realize that it is literally impossible for your life to stay down unless you give away everything you have and decide to shoot heroin in your fucking arms and do that repeatedly. So maybe then it'll be only down, but so long as you remain a citizen and a great Samaritan and you play the game and you try, things will get better. And plus, at rock bottom, the only way is up. So if you assume you're at rock bottom and this is like you'd rather die and you go to sleep every night praying that your heart stops beating and you cry yourself to sleep and you don't want to be here anymore, you are already at your lowest. It's only up. Things will only get better, not worse. So, from my experience, you're gonna fall down, get beat up, cry yourself to sleep, wish you were dead, and you will be just fine. I think so long as you breathe, that's God or the universe or the cosmos. I don't really have a name for it, and I don't enjoy discussing matters of religion or philosophy or spirituality anymore to a lot of people because half of the people are just knuckleheads. Like, they're stupid. Like, it's really hard. There's one person in my life, his name is John. And this dude's cool, man. I mean, he's done a ton of mushrooms. He's done LSD. He's done, he's had like 30 ayahuasca ceremonies. Like, this dude has seen the depths of his existence, his celestial heritage and lineage, and I love talking to him about matters like this because he gets it. But I say all that because I assume that if you are alive and there is some sort of force that we call God that's omnipotent and omniscient and is playing chess with us, I'd say if you're alive, then there's still something that you must carry out. And that has been kind of the central theme for my life, which is, holy crap, I'm not dead yet, even though I literally ask and I pray to be dead. Kill me now. I don't care. And yet I'm still alive. I never had the courage to kill myself. I wasn't that strong. Like, I would look at the pistol and I'm like, I'm good. That's kind of tough to go right here and BAM! It's kind of tough. I'd rather wake up and cry and brute force my way through another difficult day of not having money. But you will be just fine. It's so hard. If you're in the moment, if you're in the valley of despair right now, it's so hard for you to assume that things will get better. And people tell you it'll get better, but you're looking around and it's like, where? And I'm telling you from the life that I lived and from the little bit of pain that I felt thus far, things will get better. And you can choose to be optimistic about it, or you can literally just believe it, like factually. That life is ebb and flow. The seasons change, ups and downs. Nothing goes up forever. No portfolio manager has back-to-back winning years, and the portfolio never decreases. Like, from top tick to bottom tick, like Munger and Buffett have seen a 50% decrease in their portfolio. Like, and we're talking billions of dollars here. Like, when you have like 100 billion and 50% goes down, that's 50 billion. When you have 1,000, man, that's only 500. So it's, and their portfolio went right back up to all-time highs. And life works the same way. Like at the valley of despair, at the absolute maximum lowest, you're going to assume things will never get better. But it will. It will. So long as you just try. And if my words aren't powerful enough, I've seen what it looks like when you give up. I've seen what, like, I invested so much time into that thing that I was doing prior to what I'm doing now. So much time, so much effort, so much energy. I gave it my all just to be a helpless, sorry bitch who couldn't take it anymore and give up. And then I saw with my own two eyes. It was almost the universe saying, you helpless bitch. If you just stuck around and stuck it through a little bit longer, you wouldn't be suffering so much right now. And well, there's always regret. But I love it because honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. Things happen in your life not according to what you want, but what you need. And I still believe that to this day, that happened because I am just destined for more. So next, or maybe it's just a thing that I tell myself to make myself feel better. Next, if you don't cringe or get a little bit embarrassed at an older or younger version of you, you are more than likely the same and have not changed. I say this because every time I look at an old video of me or like a picture of me, I kind of cringe and I'm embarrassed. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I've grown so much. And I can't even look back at moments where I was behaving that way and believe that was me. It's like, I was like, what the hell? That was me? Oh God. Because I've grown so much. And I've met people who look back and they're like, no, I'm not ashamed of who I was. I love it. And the people that always say that, like, I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of younger me. I look at them and I'm like, well, of course not. You still are younger you. Like your behaviors haven't changed. Like all the weed and the alcohol you drink in college, you're still smoking and drinking. I'm not judging anyone here that smokes and drinks, by the way. But it's like, you have not changed. It's been 10 years and you are the same. No shit. That one's pretty short. Next one. Enjoying the passage of time is a great way to describe reality. And I didn't say this, it was Jimmy Carr? What's his name? It's like a UK comedian. He's fantastic, man. He is like the most comedic, philosophical person ever. Like, it's genius. But he was on a podcast and they said, describe reality in as little words as you can. He's like, I'll do it in 5. Enjoying the passage of time. And I said, that's amazing. I love it. Because some people think the meaning of life is God. The meaning of life is love. The meaning of life is to create kids. The meaning of life is to give birth. The meaning of life is to repent and give your life to Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. People think the meaning of life is to go be a monk in the Tibetan mountains where you are one with the singular source. Some people think the meaning of life is to do ayahuasca psychedelics so that you could experience a 9-dimensional being that you actually are. Like, some people think the meaning of life is money. Some people think the meaning of life is to do great shit. Some people think the meaning of life is to expand human consciousness and become multiplanetary. And I've come to realize that they are all correct. No one's wrong. And you can literally just enjoy all of it. And I think that's the best meaning of life, because the meaning of life is entirely subjective. But if we want to try to objectively measure it by anything, it's how much can you enjoy every second while you're here. And I think that's spot on for me. That has really allowed me to say, yeah, a lot of things don't matter and everyone is right and I'm just here to enjoy my time. So screw you. I don't really care what you believe is true. You don't even know why it's true. You don't know why you believe it. You can't back it up. You just believe it because it was taught to you and you never questioned it. So go away. I'd rather enjoy the passage of time. That's what I do. Next. If you can't explain in utter detail why you believe what you believe, gather evidence and data to support your claim, it isn't your belief. It was taught to you, and you simply listened and obeyed and never questioned to begin with, which is beautiful. So I'm speaking purely to a lot of religious people. Most people don't even know why they believe what they believe. Like most people who believe in God and Christ and anything cannot even tell me why they believe what they believe. They will resort to a book. They won't do the work to gather evidence. Like, you know, the people that do gather evidence, which is pretty cool, or at least try to. There are theologians. Theologians are just people that study the Bible. There are theologians that will actually make a journey to certain areas in the world that was kind of talked about in the Bible and try to gather evidence. And I think that's pretty cool because at least they're trying. They're like, dude, I don't know if this is real. I don't know if it's fake, but I'm going to try to gather as much evidence as I can. I'm going to try to back up my claim that this is real. And I think that's fucking awesome. But what's not awesome and stupid are the people that say, no, it's real. It's the only, like, I don't like the dogmatic approach to religion. I don't like dogma. Like to accept something willingly without question and be completely obedient is very silly to me because all that says is I am an obedient slave. I am not a free thinker. I cannot think. I am a slave. That's all I am. I've only met one impressive Christian in my life. His name is Mikhail, 21 years old. This dude is like a theologian philosopher. I spoke to him years ago and I'm like, damn, that's freaking impressive. You're 21? Oh my God. And I've spoken to a lot of religious people, man. They're so annoying. They kind of have the same, like they all sound the same. And none of them can expand past, yes, I'm a believer. God is real. I've seen it in my life. Okay, further explain, you fucking idiot. So I truly believe that if you believe something, if you have an idea, if you have a concept, if you have a philosophy, and you fail to explain it, you don't know why you believe in it. And I'd argue that you don't even believe in it. You were just taught it and you're like, fuck it, I'll go with the flow. Like when you really know something and you stand firm on something, you can explain it without certainty. Like if you tell me what do I believe and what's my philosophy on life, like I can explain with absolute certainty, with utter detail as to why I believe what I believe, how I believe what I believe, and I will give you evidence as to why I believe what I believe. And I think that is probably one of the best ways for you to stand up for something. Because if you don't stand up for something in that manner, then you're not really standing at all. You're like, oh, I kind of like it, but I don't really know, but I'm scared. And it's just silly to me. Next, if you keep competing with everyone, who's left to beat once you win? And I love this for a performance and going forward type of model. We assume that we have competitors. And I've kind of seen in my life that you don't really have competitors. The only competitor that you have is a version of yourself that you see in someone else. And so you just say, well, I see a version of myself in you, so I'm going to make you my competitor because I hate the older version of me. And the thing that I love is you can spend so much time competing with this person and this person and this person who talks shit on you and this person who didn't believe in your dreams and this person who said bad things about you. And you could literally like wipe them out and grow to a point where like you grow so big to where like you just cast a shadow over them and they're just non-existent. You can do all of that, but then who's the next competitor? The next person that has things to say about you? Some people work well. David Goggins has screenshots of hate comments and he used that as fuel. I think that's amazing. I think using hate, anger as fuel to get you closer towards your ultimate potential is amazing. But ultimately, when there's no one else to prove wrong, when there's no one else to beat because you've done the thing, you're only left with you and a different version of you. And that is your only competitor left. So just compete with that person now and ignore the rest. That's the signal. The rest is noise. Next. My life is a constant battle of current underdeveloped me and imaginative me, better me, going back and forth. So anytime I do anything, it's me now versus ultimate me, Thompson 10.0. And that person is like always having a whip and saying, boom, and whipping me, saying, you can do more. And I'm like, oh, no, I can't. He's like, you want to see? Boom, and he'll whip me again. He's like, I told you can take another one. Can you take more? Yes, you can. And he keeps whipping me to remind me that I can take more. I can do it. Because, and it seems really, it doesn't seem very loving. But this version of me is underdeveloped, still growing, with doubt, uncertainty, pain, and a lot of stuff. That version of me is fully transcendental. I don't want to say maximally developed, but I want to say extremely developed. And his job is to keep this version of me in line. And so that's kind of been my entire life. I keep having a battle between weak me and strong me. And weak me will be like, dude, at least you tried. And strong me is like, did you try? Or like did you fucking move mountains to make it happen? Like did you try? You poor baby. Or did you go to the depths of fucking fire and hell to pull your dream into reality and to make it a thing? And I tend to enjoy listening to stronger me because he's right. He's always right. He's like, I can do more. You can take one more. You can endure. You will. You didn't try hard enough. And it's just great because he is like the best friend that talks shit to your face and boosts you up and talks kindly about you to your back. You guys know the people that talk shit to your back and in your face, they'll smile and be like, ha ha ha. Better me will talk that shit to my face and say, you helpless bitch. And it would just snap current me into this, got it, let's go. So I love that. Next. I'd rather be hated for who I am authentically than to be liked and loved for something that I am not. And I love this because I pull this from the experience of friendships I've had in my life where I've seen just how fake they are to other people, and they do it because they don't want to be disliked. And they don't want to speak their opinion on something because they don't want to be hated or judged. And these are the same people who care more about how many people like them and love them. And I think that's just foolish, because if you're afraid of hate and you're afraid of being disliked, I think you're just a slave, and you will always be a slave to people's judgments. It's one of those things where people will always have shit to say about you. You know what's fucking tacky and corny? Gym videos. Working out, flexing in front of a mirror, doing this. You know what else is really tacky? Making motivational videos. You know what's super corny? Stating your opinion on topics and matters that no one really gives a fuck about. Why are you going to the gym and working out? Become a fighter. Be an MMA fighter. Why are you an MMA fighter? Go to war. Die for something, for crying out loud. Why are you at war with pride, dying and defending something? What a loser. And so like it will never end. And all this bullshit comes from the people under you. The people who are miserable with their life, and the people who are literally haunted by their own shadow of regret and an unlived, unfulfilled life. And they are just miserable and suffering because they know the potential they have that they never executed on. Like, that's who this is coming from. But you guys want to know something? All that's corny and tacky. Yes, the gym videos. Yes, working out. Yes, motivation. Yes, making YouTube videos and stating your opinion and standing for something. Yeah. All of that's corny and tacky. You know what the corniest and the most tackiest thing is? Is being a fucking hater. Is being a keyboard ninja warrior. That's the corniest. That's the tackiest. Because you are shitting on people who are willing to do the one thing that you would never dare, which is try. And you can make the argument that, oh, dude, I don't want to try. I don't want to be on social media. Sure, whatever. Okay. And if you don't want to be on it, don't shit on people that want to be on it and want to speak their mind and want to put their thoughts out here. Can you imagine if no one wrote a book, no one made videos, no one had ideas and tried to share it with the world? Can you imagine if everyone just kept the shit to themselves? There would be no expansion. There would be no growth. And so the absolute tackiest thing you can do is talk shit on people that are doing the one thing that you refuse to do, which is try. And if those words don't fucking haunt you, like you need to freaking self-audit yourself, look in the mirror and be like, holy crap, I'm a piece of shit. I am truly a sack of shit. I am a hating keyboard ninja warrior sack of shit. I am living the most miserable life. I'm not satisfied with my life. I'm suffering. I don't like it. And it's time to change. So that's my take on it. Next. You'll feel half empty most days. You'll barely be making it to the next. You might have your occasional swings of good days, and you kind of string those along and it turns into good weeks. But most of the time, things just suck. And the work is still boring and repetitive. And you just have to keep doing that until you see the magic happens. That's the story of my life, man. Feeling empty most days. Questioning if I'm gonna get there. Barely making it to the next day. Sometimes I'll have a few good days and I'm like, oh crap, let me see if I can stack this up so I can have a good week. Couple good weeks. And yet it's the same boring work every day. It's the same routine. It's the same thing that I just have to keep doing because I realize that anytime that I've tried to take shortcuts, I've always been reprimanded for doing so. Anytime I try to find an easy way out, I get reminded that I just have to do the work that no one else is willing to do. That is it. Like, I just have to do that. And then you do that long enough, and all of a sudden magic happens. But it's not magic, it's your resiliency. Next. Suffering only exists because we expect. We have an inaccurate model of reality, and we assume the world to work like this or like that. And once we see that the world does not work like that, now we're angry, sad, and miserable, and now we suffer. I heard this on Modern Wisdom, which is complaining is you saying my model of reality is inaccurate. The world is not bending its knees towards me and giving me what I want. This sucks. Like, that's what complaining is you being a helpless bitch because you think the world needs to bend to your knees, like the cosmos and the universe and God must get on its knees to give you your fucking demands and your wish. Like, are you stupid? Like, the world does not work that way. The world gives you what you need, not what you want. Sometimes what you want isn't what you need. Sometimes what you need is not what you want. But I've come to realize, and this is why I have the philosophy that I have, which is when I achieve a lot of wealth, like I want to wear the same black, white, gray t-shirts, the same shoes and the same pair of shorts or one pair of black jeans. And I don't really care to make impulsive purchases anymore because I just don't care. Because suffering is expecting. It's constantly wanting. If you expect family members to treat you well, you will suffer when you realize that they do not treat you well. If you expect your loved ones to always take care of you and never piss you off, you will be extremely miserable when you realize that they will piss you off. And so if you can decrease expectation and kind of bring it down to an absolute zero and assume nothing, almost like I know nothing, then it's very hard for, it's really hard for you to get hit with a curveball. Like, it's really, really tough, really tough. If you assume that life is good, life is great, and the universe will always listen to you, what happens when you pray and the universe doesn't give you shit? What if it doesn't instantly gratify your desires at that exact moment? Now what? Are you miserable, suffering because you're like, damn, I prayed about it, what the heck is going on? Probably. And so I've come to realize in my life that you decrease wants, decrease the amount of things you want, and you decrease expectations and assumptions, and you can literally prevent a lot of suffering. And I learned, I think it was Epictetus, someone went down to one of the freaking philosophers, went down to kind of like the marketplace, and there's all these jewels and like nice things that he can buy, and horses and stuff like that. And he's an emperor, for crying out loud. He could get it all. And he's like, wow, so many things I just do not want. And when I heard that, I said, I love that. It's amazing. Yes, that's freedom. If you want nothing, you are more free than the person that keeps wanting. And then, well, there's the paradox of, well, if you want nothing, then you won't strive for anything. No, you can still, I said decrease your wants and get it as close to zero as you can. I didn't say go for zero, because if you want absolutely nothing, you won't have ambition. If you want nothing, you won't have goals. I'd say keep your goals, but decrease the bullshit. Like, if you want money, I want money. Not, I want a Lamborghini. I want a Corvette. I want an Escalade. I want the Louis Vuitton. I want the Gucci and the Prada and the Venti. I want the cologne. I want this. I want it. I just want money. That's it. Done. I want money so I can do big stuff with money that can really impact people. Because I'm gonna die one day and they're gonna die. So if I can try to make life a little bit easier on them while they're still alive, cool. So that's something that I've come to realize this year, which is like, wants, let's decrease, expectations, let's decrease, and I will not suffer. Because I was really hell-bent on like, dude, how do I stop suffering? Like, this is fucking tough. Like, I'm broke. Like, I've lost things like 6 times in a row. How many times have I lost everything? Went to the military, had money, didn't know what I was doing in the market, put it all into Dogecoin, gone, zero. So that's one. Got out of the army, big dreams, aspirations, ended up scrubbing toilets and door dashing. Second letdown. 2, joined, I don't know what to call it, employment, partnership, I don't fucking know at this point. But did something with someone that I knew, sacrificed it all, left with nothing, had to get a job. 3, got paid out by the company, lost all of that, had to get a job. 4, got 2 jobs. Literally this year, made enough money to trade, attempted to trade, did really well, blew it all. 6, had to get funding from people that I knew had to get funded from people that I know that are very close to me in order to continue to play the game and get good at the game. That's 7 failures in a span of like fucking 5 years, man. Like, I failed a lot. And just this year was just failure on failure on failure on failure. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking brutal. Like, is this suffering gonna end? I'm like, wait, why am I suffering? Like, I'm still alive. I have hot water to shower with. I'm eating food. Like, I'm not homeless. Like, why the fuck am I suffering so much? And I really had to develop mental frameworks and tactics to really get me out of this boat of suffering. So, yeah, that's it. You decrease wants, you decrease expectations, and I have found that suffering is relatively zero. So now, I want to talk about my father dying this year and how I didn't even shed a single tear. I don't even think about it until now. First things first. There's the biblical idea that you must honor your parents. And I guarantee you, most Christians won't even be able to tell you what the fuck that means. They're just like, yes, honor your parents. Honor is not obedience. Honor is not caring about them. Honor is not talking kindly about them. Honor is making people perceive that last name that you inherited in a good way. Like, can I ensure that the NGO, the no family name, will be remembered for something monumentally great, positively influential, and all that good stuff? If I can ensure that that last name will be remembered and will be attributed with kindness, growth, the expansion, all that good stuff, I've honored my father and my mother. And just because I don't care necessarily about my dad dying doesn't mean that I don't honor him. So for any Christians or religious people in here that watch my stuff, back the fuck up. So my father, I woke up one morning, I'm putting my socks on, I think I'm about to drive to like the Apple store because the new phones got released. I needed an upgrade pretty bad. Like, my phone was like 7, 8 years old. So I remember I get up, I'm about to leave, and my mother comes up to me. She goes, hey, what's up? She's like, your dad's dead. I just got the call. He's dead. I said, okay. I said, like that. I said, okay. Yeah. I didn't pause to think about it. I didn't be like, okay, how do I have to reframe this? Like, oh fuck, am I panicking? I literally said, okay. I literally went out the door and started driving. And then on the drive, my brother called me. He's like, hey, did you hear the news? Dad did. I was like, yep. Like, I just didn't care. I wasn't fazed. Number one, it's because he wasn't close to me. Like, just because he's my father does not mean I have to cry and boo-hoo. Like, me and him were not close at all. Like, not at all. He didn't know anything about the past few years of my life, and I never cared to speak to him. And so I died without ever getting to speak to him for like the past few years, which is cool to me. Like, I don't care. And I had never even cried. I never even sat down to think about it. I got depressed or sad. Like, never. It's not because I'm avoiding it. For all my psychology experts, oh God, my psychoanalysts, here they come. This is not Freudian psychology of me like running away from trauma, or modern day psychology of me regressing and pushing down my trauma. This is literally me having zero emotional association with the person that died. And plus, I look at death as like, this is pretty fucking normal. Like, people that boo-hoo about death, I see it as, you are so stupid because your model of reality is literally inaccurate. Because if you're boo-hoo about death, what you are saying is death is not normal. That's why I'm so sad and I'm affected by it. No, it's normal. It's so regular. Like, it's so regular. It's so common. It happens every day that you need to stop boo-hooing like a helpless bitch and just let it, like, go, move on. You have a whole life to live. You're gonna sit here, ruminate on someone that doesn't exist anymore? And so I made a post on Instagram and I said, okay, I have a photo of my father. And I spoke kindly about him in that post. I only made that post because what I do believe is a shame is that we will die. And all the hardship and the pain that we go through and the stories that we have, like, no one will give a fuck because we're dead. And in 100 years we'll be forgotten. And in 1,000 years we will cease to ever even exist unless our name goes down in history for that long. But even then, like, how can we ensure that happens? And so I made a post about him, and I've said a lot of kind things about him. And I read the comments, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for your loss, I'm so sorry. And I had to like pin a comment, and I said, hey, I'm not making this post for your fucking like I'm sorry's. Like, I'm fine. I am making this post purely because I truly believe every human deserves to be I don't think every human deserves to be remembered, but I think every human deserves to have their life kind of honored and shared. And it's like, hey, I went through this, I did a lot of things, I went through a lot of hardship. And it's like, if everyone's gonna eventually forget about them, like, it sucks. Because when I think about it, it's like, dude, I'm gonna die. That kind of sucks. Like, I went through a lot of shit. And if I don't tell my story and if I don't let people know, like, no one's gonna fucking know. And like, I had to endure a lot of shit that people can learn from, which is why I document this. I make these videos. Because I want to make sure that when I die, some of this shit isn't forgotten. There's a lot of valuable lessons here. And so I view death the same way. So when my father died, I wasn't really bothered by it. My brother was bothered by it. He would call me. He's like, dude, I was just crying. I was like, I don't care. Mind you, my brother is like double my age. He's like 46. I'm 25. So all that to say, I've learned a few valuable things, which is how long it took me to mourn has nothing to do with how much I loved this person. And I heard that from Hormozy, because it just so happens, like, fast forward a week or two, his mom died. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna love this. And you know what Hormozy does? Mom's dead, goes in his room, writes a fucking essay, stands up on stage to read it to his entire crowd that attended his workshop. I'm like, dude, that's so fucking Hormozy. And that's badass. And he said something like, he didn't mourn. And like, it didn't take him long to mourn. Like, he rebounded pretty fast. Like, depths of hell, boom, next day work. And people are like, dude, do you not care? Are you heartless? And it's like, like, you are using a terrible, like, that's a terrible metric. Like, you should not be basing how long it took me to get better or how much I mourned and associating that with how much I loved. If you died, would you want your loved ones mourning? I can guarantee you, all of you will say, no, I would want them to be happy. I would want them to move on. I would want them to find someone new. I would want them to meet new people. I would want them to pick up a hobby. I would want them to win. Or at least I hope. I'll speak for myself. Because when I die, I don't want anyone I love fucking just sitting there sulking and mourning over me. Like, dude, you have a life to live. Go. And I think that's like how you really care about someone. If you die and you want people to fucking mourn you and like, oh, boo-hoo, he's dead. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful life. Like, I think you're a selfish bitch. Like, that's all I think you are. And so I assume that way with my father. I'm like, okay, dude, if he's dead, he doesn't want me mourning. He wants me to win. To make sure that this last name goes down in history. Because no one else in my fucking family's going to do it. They all want to fucking be normal and average. None of them are going to fucking do it. So it's up to me. I'll take on the burden. Why not me? I'm the best one for this. Why not? How could it not be me? So I think about that and I'm like, there's no way my father will want me just sitting here ruminating and just sulking about his death. And if he prefers that, dude, that's a selfish motherfucker. So all that to say, from my father's death, I learned a few things, which is this. If you are sad about death, you have not correctly identified what death means. Your model of reality is still completely inaccurate, which is why you're sulking and you're upset. That's number one. Number two, no one says, like, I hate the idea, like, oh my gosh, I need time. No, you fucking don't. You don't need time. I think anyone that says I need time is simply someone that's making a pitiful excuse as to why they cannot take the necessary actions to get better now. Oh, my father died. I need time. I need time to heal. I need time to cope. No, you don't need time. You're using your father's death as an excuse to avoid hard things that you know is necessary in order to develop you further. And so when I break it down like that, my brain likes it. And I think, yes, this is amazing. Yes, I don't need time. A relationship ends. I don't need time to get into another one. My father dies. I don't need time to move the fuck on. I lose all my money. I don't need time. I've come to realize, and this is speaking purely from experience, all the moments this year where I try to run away from my pain and take the easy way out and smoke or just sleep and just try to forget about it, I've always been reprimanded for doing it. And that reminds me, again, the work just needs doing. Like, you just have to do the work that no one else will fucking do, which is do the hard things. You don't need time to move on. You don't need time to heal. Most people don't understand what fucking healing means. Sometimes all you have to do is say, I refuse to make any more excuses as to why I am not willing to do the hard things that's necessary to get me towards my ultimate goal. And if you can do that, then you will be much farther ahead than everybody else. Those were lessons for 2025. What a year, man. God. Learned so much. Didn't accomplish much. But yet I'm still here and I refuse to give up. If I am this fired up and amped up after all the failures this year and last year, God helped the world when I gain momentum and I actually start winning. I wouldn't bet against me. Whatever you decide to do, it's December 28th. You can get a lot closer towards hitting your 2026 goals by starting now, not January 1st. That's all I got.